Good morning, friends. Happy Monday. All right, so this week we are going to look at some of the pharaohs of ancient Egypt. Okay, before we get started, there are going to be Google Meets this week. We're going to meet at 10 o'clock like we used to. Okay, I didn't like missing them last week, so we're back at it. Okay, so today what you're going to be doing is you're going to be reading about Hatshepsut. Okay. And then you're going to be answering questions about her. Okay? So what I'm going to do for you today is I'm going to read you the article on Hatshepsut. Okay? And then you are going to answer the questions. Okay? Today, you're only going to answer questions 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay? Tomorrow, you will answer questions 5, 6, and 7. Okay? So that is what you're doing today. So here we go. All right. Hatshepsut was the longest reigning female pharaoh in Egypt, ruling for 20 years in the 14th century BCE. She is one of the very few women to gain the title of pharaoh and is considered one of Egypt's most successful. Hatshepsut's name means foremost of the royal ladies. She ruled for a longer time than any other female pharaoh. During her years in power, she maintained peace and stability in Egypt. Her early life. Hatshepsut was the elder of 2 daughters born to the pharaoh Thutmose I and his wife Ahmose during the 18th dynasty, which was from 1539 to 1295 BCE. Her younger sister died in childhood, making her an only child. When she was still a young girl, her parents married her to her half-brother Thutmose II, son of Thutmose I by a different wife. Marriage between relatives were common in Egypt. But when her father, Thutmose I, died, his son, Thutmose II, became king and Hatshepsut was queen. Thutmose II ruled only 3 or 4 years, dying of a skin disease. He had a son who was Hatshepsut's nephew. This son, Thutmose III, was very young when his father died. Since he was too young to assume the throne unaided, Hatshepsut served as his regent and eventually claimed the role of pharaoh. Just so you guys know, a regent, like it said, is an adult who ruled for a child if they were too young to rule until they were able to or were old enough to. Okay? So leadership. Hatshepsut expanded Egypt's borders and sent expeditions to other countries. This established the trade networks that had been disrupted during the Hyksos occupation of Egypt. This built the wealth of the 18th dynasty as it brought much trade to Egypt. Hatshepsut was also one of the most prolific builders in ancient Egypt, commissioning hundreds of construction projects throughout both Upper Egypt and Lower Egypt. She also restored many old temples where statues were built in her likeness. Some of the pieces in these temples show Hatshepsut wearing the traditional royal robes of pharaohs. Her legacy. Hatshepsut's monuments portray her as a queen chosen by the gods for her special mission of resurrecting Egypt from the damage left from the Hyksos where they invaded 2 centuries prior. Hatshepsut had originally intended her daughter, Neferu, to succeed her as pharaoh, but her daughter died young. Instead, her son Thutmose III became ruler. After her death, Thutmose III was so jealous of her popular legacy that he ordered to remove all evidence that she had ever ruled. Her monuments were obscured and all mention of her erased from the walls of temples and other important buildings. Since the ancient Egyptians believed that a person's spirit lived on as long as his or her name was carved into a wall, Thutmose's decision to erase her name was probably because he thought he would destroy her spirit as well. Despite these efforts to erase her memory, the name of Hatshepsut has endured, and along with it, the knowledge that a woman once ruled the most powerful nation on earth. Okay? So, that's the article. Now what you're going to do is you got to take it out of present mode, and you're going to zoom into 100, right? Because that's the one that's easiest for us to watch or to work with. Put it back on the arrow, and then you are going to answer these questions. Where did she reign? That means where did she rule? Okay? Interpret what her name means. It just means translate it, and that tells you in the article. determine how long she was pharaoh, do the math, so it's BCE, so you're going to take the bigger number and subtract the smaller number from it to figure out how long she ruled, and from her early life, what cause and effect changed her life. Okay, I am going to link another video for you guys that explains cause and effect to help you answer this question if you're not already sure how to do so. Okay, and then that's where you're going to stop after you answer this question using complete sentences. You're going to stop for today. Okay, and then tomorrow you're going to pick back up at question number 5. You're going to do 5A and B. You're going to do 6, and you're going to do 7 based on this excerpt of reading that I just read to you. Okay, so that being said, I have posted your activity log for the week in the materials section. I have posted your daily student check-in. The code word for today is pharaoh. Spell it right, guys. It's in this reading several times, and it's a vocab term, okay? Google Meets are at 10 o'clock this week, first period today, second period tomorrow, fourth period Wednesday, sixth period Thursday, eighth period Friday. And that's all I got for you, okay? I hope you have a fantastic Monday. If you're in my homeroom, I'll see you at 10 o'clock. Bye, guys.